What is good? What is good? What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Of course, you know who I be. Good Doc, Dr. Mike TV. Back again, once again. You already know what it is, baby. Instant classic in the making. If this is your first time to the Dr. Mike TV channel, welcome yourselves by smashing that like button, caressing, molesting, and stretching yourself all over it. It wants, it needs, it most definitely has to have it. Subscribe, notify, do all the good things to make yourself well versed in the good Doc's content. All of my good stuff listed in the link in the description area below. There's often been this wide, massive debate between foreigners alike. And there's this saying that a foreigner should never take a Filipina out of the Philippines. If you're going to date a Filipina, you want to keep them in the Philippines, because you don't want them to be tainted with your culture or tainted by the Western world. And if I polled 100 men today, I honestly believe that 95 or at least 90 plus will say, keep them in the Philippines. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I am a firm believer, myself included, a firm believer that you should never, and the doc means never, take a Filipina out of her natural habitat. Unless you have a plan. Okay, so while a lot of guys will say never take them out of the country, never bring them to the Philippines, bring them to the United States, never bring them to your Western country, UK, wherever you're living in the world today. I happen to believe that there's one asterisk slash caveat that I do believe a foreigner can take a Filipina out of the Philippines, and that's only if you have a plan. What do I mean by a plan? If your Filipina is educated and she can get a great job with massive upside, huge opportunity in the United States, and you guys can build together while you're in the United States, by all means, you definitely want your young lady to maximize her talent and maximize her efforts and energy towards building of your financial foundations or your financial houses that you could potentially take back with you to the Philippines. So when I say never take them out of the natural habitat unless you have a plan, I simply mean don't just bring them to the United States and just have them sit at home, right? Don't just bring them to the United States just for them to be homebodies. If you want to have a Filipina that's a homebody, you have to understand Filipinas get anxious. They get bored, when they're not around people that they don't know, or, they don't know anybody, they kind of go into their shells. They're alone, they're pretty much really dependent on you. And some people may consider that to be a good thing and not so much a bad thing. But the way that I see it is she's naturally going to attach herself to just anybody that's going to be nice to her. Hopefully there may be a small Philippine community that she can, find herself involved in. But, overall, I do believe she's just not going to be happy. She's not going to be satisfied being uprooted out of her own home country and just thrusted into the United States without anything to do. There's this saying about idle minds or idle hands. I can't remember it off the top of my head. But, whenever they got too much time on their hands, they start to think, oh, what is he doing at work? He might be cheating on me. Filipinos in general, they can think about the craziest things. And when they do that, they drive themselves crazy thinking about what you're doing. Thinking about, oh man, what is he doing at work? Maybe he's talking to a girl at work right now, and then she's calling you and bothering you and disturbing your peace while you're actually trying to work. Actually trying to, bring home the finances, aka that financial bacon, right? So you never just want to uproot them without a plan. Like I said, the plan for me is creating an opportunity to help build that foundational house. Now, I will say this. I know this. A lot of foreigners who are going to the Philippines and looking for significant others, a lot of them are more or less in their elder years and probably on the back end of retirement. Not so much in my age range, early 30s, mid 30s, and looking to continue on with a, working history or working career for at least another 10 to 15 years plus, right? Not too many people are in that particular realm. But if you are, or you have the desire not so much to live in the Philippines full time, but you want to do 6 months on, 6 months off, you want to travel around a little bit, you often want to make sure that you are able to spend the amount of time necessary to be with her or to give her the time, attention that she needs, or she better go out there and get her a job. Now, a lot of foreigners will be like, ah, man, I don't want my Filipina working with these crazy women in the West because they're going to taint her mind. And next thing you know, they're going to tell her that she can do better than me. And, she can do this, and oh, let's not forget, if you have a baby, she could leave you and you have to take care of her. And, they could fill her hell with so much bullshit. But at that particular point, if that's what scares you, I think you actually need to look at your relationship. If that's what scares you the most about bringing your woman to your country, I kind of believe at that point you really have to start looking within. You have to start thinking, well, damn, what is it that has me feeling insecure about my relationship that a woman could say some things that could completely change her mindset about me? What is it about your relationship that makes you think that? Is it the lack of time that you have in your relationship? Is it the fact that you just haven't known her very long? Or the fact that she is easily gullible? Easily manipulated? What is it that's making you feel as though, baby girl, can her mind's gonna completely change about you because some woman said that she could do this, and now all of a sudden she's just gonna take her advice like just like that? I mean, it blows my mind that people would think that, but I guess there's always something in the background that could potentially bring a foreigner to the point where he is skeptical about bringing them to the United States. I happen to believe that if your relationship is built on a solid foundation, it gives you the best opportunity. I'm not going to say it's going to be foolproof, guys. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, well, if your relationship is built on a solid foundation, then of course you should bring her to the United States. Nothing could go wrong. I'll never say that. But I do believe that if she has a strong head on her shoulders and she's already aware of what to expect in your country because you've told her everything that she should need to know about what people could potentially do, then I think that if you prepare her ahead of time, she's not going to be fazed by anything that people have to say about your relationship. And to be honest with you, you already know what the game is, man. A lot of people who will say negative things about your relationship is because misery loves company, right? They'll sit there and probably nag and say all kinds of nonsense about your relationship because they're probably single too. And I think that it's very pertinent to point out that particular talking point whenever you're having this conversation with your young lady. I say prepare them before they go. If this is your plan, prepare them before they go. Because I promise you this, when they're prepared, can't nothing really stop you then, can they? I mean, that's the way I see it, man. Can't nothing really stop you when you already know that people are probably going to try to come at us. People aren't going to be happy that, maybe this black guy's dating this Asian girl. Or, any plethora of things that could potentially come. I think that if you go ahead and at least explain to her what could potentially be, she already knows to negate that nonsense when it's at the door, So that's my thought process on the idea behind bringing your woman to the Philippines. Do not take her out of her natural habitat unless you're ready or you have a plan. Like I said, probably the majority of the men who are going to comment on this particular video are going to say leave them where they are, keep them in their natural habitat, right? But I do believe that that small percentage, like myself, who is at least still considering the idea, of bringing this lady to the United States and doing things like that, again, they'll probably say, Doc, don't do it. Doc, you crazy, man. Don't do it. She's going to leave you. She's going to leave you. I get it and I appreciate the concern, but at some point in my life, I'm going to have to take a calculated, necessary risk. And everything that we do is calculated. Everything that we do is not done on a whim, but definitely well thought out. And I do believe that the time put in on our end, that's both of us, will be able to negate the nonsense that I previously mentioned. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that this video finds you well. And if it did, please feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. You already know what to do. All right? And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, there's a thank you at the bottom with a little heart on it. If you want to put a little bit on the Good Doc's books, you should find it at the bottom. If you guys want to check out the Patreon, all of the undisclosed things that the Good Doc just can't post on YouTube, by all means, make sure you check out the comment at the top of the description area below. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's my time. It's my energy. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, Good Doc is officially out. At least nako paalam, which means I am going now. Bye-bye. As always, love you guys. Sincerely do. Mahal kita. Mabuhay. Peace.